What's up guys, welcome to Freedive Passion. It's early in the morning, I just woke up and I'm about to get ready to go diving. Today it's going to be a PB dive. I'm going to do 80 meters, which is going to tie my free immersion diving with my constant weight PB. So that's super cool. Already my diving up until now has been like perfect, great feelings. It's just the best my dives have ever felt in all my life, even though it's also the deepest I've been diving in the traditional disciplines. So I'm super excited about today. I'm sure it's going to be a great dive. Each morning before I dive, I spend about 50 minutes to an hour doing full body stretching. I'm not naturally very flexible, so it's important that I increase my range of motion before I actually get back into the water and do a deep dive. I do static stretching with longer holds. I set a timer on my phone and I hold each hold for 2 minutes. So this type of stretching for me, it's nice because you can actually relax into the stretch. It's not increasing your heart rate, and it's actually helping you get in a relaxed state of mind, as well as increasing your flexibility of your body. Awesome, so the body's stretched out, feeling good. Now it's time to grab a taxi and head to the Blue Hole. Say hello to the internet, Mohammed. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Harris.
When I got to Blue Hole, I didn't particularly feel like filming because I was getting in the zone. But I did about 20 minutes of long stretching, then got in my wetsuit and got into the water. Then I had to take a quick aqua shit, and followed by just kind of like chilling for a while, just floating around. I ran through visualization a couple of times, and then I started to breathe up for my dive. I do my deep dive first, no warm up. Now I've had a few perfect dives recently, but it's important to always stay aware for changes, especially as you're starting to go deeper. At my level now, these changes can be very subtle, but it's going to make the difference between a beautiful dive and just an okay dive. It's also going to affect my oxygen consumption. So as I was progressing over time, at first I could feel fear on a dive. So I had to find the source of this fear, like what was causing this fear, and find a way to overcome it. Then when there was no fear, I might have lapses in concentration. Then I had to find a way to overcome this. Now I'm staying more aware for lapses of tranquility. If I can do a dive without any lapses in tranquility, it's pure bliss. If I have some lapses, then that means I need to find the cause of this lapse and overcome it. This dive did have a lapse in tranquility. In previous dives, I've noticed that on the ascent, at a certain point, the pause between me pulling and me moving gets shorter, and it's quite a sudden change. It's from one pull to the next. Now what I found on this dive is that I was starting to wait for this change in buoyancy. I was starting to project myself and expect it to come and wonder when it was gonna come. This anticipation wasn't a source of panic, but it was definitely a lapse in tranquility. So I'm gonna put two things in place before I repeat this dive. One is I'm gonna use visualization to help myself expect this change in buoyancy, this change between the delay between pulling and moving. I'm going to split my dive into two sections. One will be the deep section where there is a slight delay, and the second will be the shallow section where there's no delay. I've found in the past that simply being prepared for something to happen and expecting it to happen can totally change its effect on you. The second thing is to become absorbed in the moment during the dive, feeling the water, feeling how I'm moving through the water, feeling the strength of each pull, which muscles I'm using with each pull. If I'm absorbed in the moment, then I'm not going to be able to project, and I should stay in the state of mind that I want to stay in for my diving. Now these dives are starting to get deep for me. This is the deepest I've been in the traditional disciplines. So now I need to change my programming to save energy. So I'm going to start to cut out those 2 constant weight dives that I was doing. I'm replacing that with surface swimming. I'm also going to switch to doing 1 dive to 1 rest. So 1 day diving, 1 day rest. And directly after each dive I'm breathing pure oxygen. I'm definitely going to repeat this 80 and make it perfect, a beautiful dive. But I've got pretty high hopes for the future. I'm still feeling really good, still no signs of hypoxia. I can equalize much deeper. So if the next 80 goes really well, I'll try 82, then 85, repeat that a couple of times, 87, that feels good, then who knows, maybe that 90 is going to happen. I want to say a big thank you to Sasha for the safety and Javier for the filming. Well done. Very nice ride. Stay tuned for another exciting episode of How Deep Can Harry Go Without Getting Scared or Blacking Out?